Yes, everyone, what's going on? My name is Stephen Howson, and this is Transfer Talk. Been a minute since we've done one. Would normally do these pretty much every week, sometimes twice a week during transfer window season. But I'm going to be honest, it's slim pickings for United in the transfer window as it stands. So I'm not sure we'll sign anyone. But I do think there will be a lot of people leaving, so we'll cover as many of those as we can. First one that we're going to talk about, though, is an in, and that is a Sergio Ramos. You may have heard of him. Don't really like the Scousers, and that's a big bonus for me. So, according to Spanish reporter, and Calcio Mercato, United are open to the idea of signing Sergio Ramos when his Real Madrid contract expires in the summer. Of course we are. According to reports, United will be able to bring him in on a 2-year deal. However, the reports have been quickly diminished by Romano, as he stated on the Here We Go podcast that United are not working to sign Ramos, as is believed. His agent has yet not received anything from United. Yeah, I would probably roll with what Romano's saying in that one, to be honest with you guys. So, you know. Does Ramos improve United? Yeah. God, it's the leadership that we've been absolutely craving, isn't it? Would he be up to speed with the Premier League? I think he'd be all right, to be honest. He is obviously on the downslope of his career. He is 34 years of age now. I think 2 years would be a bit giddy, but I believe you'd probably have to offer him 2 years for him to even think about it. But yeah, I think probably a little bit excited to be getting linked with him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Next up, though, we do have Soumare. So, apparently not signing him either. So, Manchester United have been linked with Lille, Boubakary Soumare, throughout the January transfer window. However, multiple reports, including The Athletic, have said that United won't be signing him in the January transfer window. Sorry, I'd love to sit here and just lie to you, but it's not what I'm about, is it? It looks like no one is going to be coming in. It's felt like no one would have been coming in. So it is possible that we might pursue the guy in the summer. And all this reiterating, it's probably going to be a very quiet window for United on the transfer front. So again, yeah. Obviously, we've seen Timbo depart already this week, but who else could be going and joining him as well? And I think one of the first ones that could be out the door is Jesse Lingard. So Lingard's representatives held talks over a loan move to Nice from United, according to Sky Sports. Now, you've got to remember, Angel Gomez is technically a Nice player, even though he's playing at Boa Vista in Portugal. United are yet to decide whether or not to allow Lingard to leave in this transfer window. His contract runs out in the summer of 2022, so he's got 18 months left. The 27-year-old has started in United's FA Cup win over Watford last Saturday, but hasn't started a Premier League game in over a year, and I think that's very telling. He scored 4 goals in 40 appearances across all comps last season, and while he's not represented his country since England played in the UEFA Nations League in 2019, I think it's got to be on the he's got to be on the way out. I think Jesse. I think it's quite clear Ollie's not having him, and aside from the game at weekend against Watford, where I thought he looked all right, he's not really pulled up any sort of trees for United in a while. I actually don't think Jesse's really had any sort of sustained amount of form in a United shirt since the World Cup. It was 2.5 years ago. It's not really acceptable. So I know there's all sorts of stuff going on behind the scenes with Jesse, all sorts of personal stuff. And I think the best thing for him would be to get away from Manchester United and the absolute pressure cooker of scrutiny that there is at Manchester United, and go and see out the tail end of your career somewhere where you might actually be appreciated for being who you are. And I think he could definitely do that in France. And finally, as if this hasn't been a weird enough transfer talk, let's have a gander. Donny van de Beek. Yeah, there we go. Inter have apparently made an inquiry about Donny van de Beek, and I hope that inquiry lasted all of 14 seconds, because he might not have been playing much. He might not even be first choice under Solskjaer, but we're not ready to throw the towel in on him yet. I think this is just nonsense. So according to FC Inter News, Inter sporting director Piero Ozzilio has been in touch with United in the past few days. Obviously, Van der Beek hasn't featured much for United since signing, and he could be tempted to go out on loan to ensure he doesn't lose his place in the national team ahead of the Euros. However, it's reported, quite rightly, that United said, no thanks. Let's be real. Stretford Paddock can put an inquiry in about a player doesn't mean that United are going to entertain it. And, I think that, he's not featured a hell of a lot, but I don't think it's an issue. And I'm wondering if Solskjaer's keeping his powder dry on a couple of players because he's expecting a fitness or a form tail off in the second end of the season. You've got to remember this is a side that hasn't had a pre-season. We had the shortest break from the last season to this season. We haven't had a full pre-season. We were straight into it. You saw in those first couple of games how off the boil against Spurs, against Crystal Palace United were. There's going to be some sort of kickback from that this year where United really fall off. And I'm wondering, is he keeping some players completely out of the side because they're what's going to carry the side towards the back end? And I might be wrong on this. It's just a hunch. I don't know this, but it is just a hunch that I've got that's what might be going down. I don't think there's any danger whatsoever of seeing Donny van der Beek go out on loan. I mean, that would literally be admitting that we've fucked it. And I don't think we have fucked it, and I don't think we're ready to admit that we've fucked it either. Let's see what you can say. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Luke says, so there's a chance of Paddock, Messi joining Paddock FC then. Well, he's out of contract. I'll if you guys want me to, I'll put an inquiry in. I'll tell him it's 35 quid a month in subs. Is he up for that? Probably not. No. Askew says, one word, depth. Correct. He's well better than Ericsson, says Connor. Of course, but that's no reason why he would entertain it or United would entertain it. Oliver says, we clearly need departures. Some players clearly aren't good enough, and considering we have 27 men for a 25-man squad and the loanees, also considering Williams is nearly 21 along with a few others. Yeah, just like Jones, Rojo, Romero, they're all going to be clearing the decks pretty soon. Happy days. Humyad says, Fred barely played his first season, and now look how much better he plays. Dugout Dan says, Steve, do you think Greenwood playing up front against Liverpool this weekend with his pacing behind the two midfield centre-backs is better than playing Cavani? No, because I think the movement of a genuine striker against good defenders is baffling. So I think going up against Henderson with Cavani is absolutely putting the guy on so new. Who do I think would be the perfect signing for us this window? I don't think we need just one. I think we need a few. I think we need maybe 3 or 4. So, one of those. Is Phil Jones here for another season? I hope not. I really hope not. Do I think Marshall will be sold next summer? I wouldn't rule it out. I would not rule it out. Fake news, Donny is staying for good. Well, what news are you calling fake? Because I've literally said he ain't going. Can't wait to see Van der Beek after a proper pre-season, minus the World Cup. Well, it's the Euros this summer, but yes. Kwame says, Van der Beek will get a chance. We need depth. It's a long freaking season. Yeah, that's it. There's no need to be panicking on this sort of thing. Gomez at Lille. All right, yeah, Lille, Nice. Yeah, same fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's not Paris. It's one of them other fucking teams in France. That's the game. Van der Beek is class, but if he's that desperate, chuck him in the 23s. Ooh, 23s football's garbage, 23s football is absolutely garbage. It's almost a waste of time. I think they need an actual overhaul of the whole under 23s system because it's not fit for purpose. Not fit for purpose. And I don't think we need to be having that either. Would Ramos help our long-term progression much, similar way to Zlatan? Yeah, he might not. If you think that Mengi might be ready in a couple of years, Tuanzebe might be ready in a couple of years, and you don't want to spend 70, 80 million on another centre-half, that might be a sensible thing. There might be things that he can come in and help them lads with and allow the transition. Because if you've got Tuanzebe, Mengi, Lindelof, Maguire, and Baye, as well as Ramos, it's a hell of a lot of depth at centre-half, and it also allows you to play mixed. And I know you don't really want to rotate in and out centre-halves, but it worked for us in the 2013 season. Rio would only play once a week to keep him fit and fresh for that game. If you treated Ramos like Rio was treated that season, that's when... I mean, no one was losing their mind about Evans and Jones and Smalling at the time, because we were all like, hey, they look good. And they did look good when they'd come in alongside Vidic and alongside Rio. It was when they had to do it without Vidic and Rio, you're like, these aren't very good, are they? So I wonder if there could be a way to transition over that. Why do I think Telles is not starting anymore? It could be just a longer transitional period into the first team. Weird when you see how quickly Bruno was put into the first team. It might be a COVID hangover. He was one of the few players that we've had that has actually had COVID. So I wouldn't rule it out as definitely not being anything to do with that. Do I think we can do it on Sunday against the Dippers? I do. I think we have to park the bus for it, but I do. What do I think of Rashford right mid? I don't think it's fair playing our most informed forward out of position to accommodate our most out of form forward. If anything, Tony Marshall should be moved to the right while he sorts his shit out and play Marcus where he's most effective. Any DM rumours? I haven't seen any. I mean, this Soumare, but they was talking summer, not in January. Do we think Greenwood on form is a starter over Martial? Yeah, I would go with whoever's in form, to be honest, but there's a few of them that aren't necessarily in form. Who do I think we should loan or recall, possibly view to reloan? And who do I think is the next debutant, excluding Palestri and Ahmad? A lot of them got their debut in Astana, didn't they? I think Ethan Galbraith probably needs to go out on loan. If he's not getting minutes, 23 is his waste of time. Mengi's obviously already featured, but I wouldn't mind seeing Mengi again. Outside of that, I think there's a big gap. I don't think Mabry's close to being ready yet physically. I think he's a while off. Neves or Saul would be a dream for our mid, correct. Anyone in the Premier League that I like? Player-wise, yeah, loads. Loads of players. I've said for ages that there's so many good players that you can go and get down from the lower ranks of the Premier League. I mean, look at Jack Grealish, almost relegated last season. Who wouldn't have him now? How's Garner doing on loan? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to go and watch any of the lads that are out on loan, apart from I watched the bits of Ethan as he was out on loan the other day. Thought he looked good. Would I raid Arsenal for Tierney? Well, he's better than what we've got. Currently, I think Tellez is still unproven, but, although, I'd just give Tellez a run because I think he can do it. How scared are we that a Bruno injury would take us back to the dark LVG days? I don't think it would, to be honest. I think you've still got Van der Beek, you've still got Paul Pogba, you've still got creativity in midfield. But yeah, no, I'd see. Do I think the 3-5-2 could work against Liverpool? I do. But I think I would also go with the diamond against them in this instance. If Van der Beek gets loaned to Villa, they are going to finish top 4, period. Maybe that's the move. Maybe loan Villa, maybe to Anzebe. Maybe loan them Van der Beek to get a bit of an early bid in at a reasonable price on Jack Grealish. Maybe that would be the move. Do I think we can snatch Kante? I'm not sure Kante could do it as a single pivot on his own anymore. I think the ship has sailed on that a long time ago. Is Garner our best prospect at the moment? I think it's too early to say. I think Laird is a hell of a prospect for United going forward, and I'd love to see him be given a proper opportunity at the club because there's nothing he can't do, and he's so brave when he moves forward. If Pogba signed a new deal, how would I feel considering his recent form? The issue's never been about the ability with Paul Pogba. The issue's been about the fucking circus his agent brings. It's a shame that we're seeing this form now with the knowledge that it's probably not going to yield anything and he's probably going to leave. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Absolute nightmare. If Ben Foster was at United, do I think they'd allow him to film? No, absolutely not. They just wouldn't. Righty then, I'm going to leave it there. Quick recap. Sergio Ramos ain't coming. Soumare ain't coming. Lingard might be going. And Donny van der Beek ain't. It's well shit transfer news, that, innit? But I think that's what it's going to be like for the entire month. Is what it is. We'll be back I'll be doing the preview for the Liverpool game, how to beat Liverpool, first thing Saturday morning. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss that. And also, we've got Rennie Mullenstein on Howson's Brew on Paddock 4 o'clock tomorrow. So come and get your questions in for Rennie, and I'll see you then. Laters.